y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Danny, and today we are going to a train hostel in Amsterdam. Now this was a really cool experience I wanted to try. Usually I keep these reviews around the 2-minute mark, but I'm trying something new and I'm gonna go ahead and give this 5 minutes and maybe a few other vlogs as well, just so we could really enjoy what we're looking at. So it was about 30 per night. All right, it is a shared room. It's a hostel, so I'm gonna have a bunk bed inside a room with other bunk beds and roommates. The lodging itself is an inactive train that is next to an active train, so you're actually able to look out the window and see other trains passing by. Interior is super cool. There's art. They have little cafe items like coffees and teas if you're interested. To an extent, you are subject to the weather. I went when it was a bit colder, say autumn going into winter. That being said, my actual cabin where I was sleeping was very warm and cozy. I had no issues whatsoever with that. Came out here. If you need to store your luggage, it's not the most secure system, unfortunately. Everybody just kind of puts their stuff in a corner at your own risk, but there are some options to store it inside the train bunk room too. It's just very small in here. So as you see, we have 6 bunks. All right, there are 2 doors that lead into this room. It is extremely cozy. There's not much space to move around, and honestly, when my roommates were shuffling about below, I stayed in my bunk because there is not much space to move. There's a sink here if you want to wash your hands, which I'll show you in a second, and there's this ladder, which I will admit was a bit shaky getting up here, and I was a little nervous because I was on the 3rd bunk, which is closest to the top, but I will show you that they provide a netting if you're a little nervous about being that high up, because it's pretty steep. But yes, this is the room. I have a view outside. Later on, I found out there are blinds you could close if you'd like. Here's the sink I was telling you about. There's a bit of a competition for storage space versus functionality, so we didn't really use the sink. As you can see, there's a train sneaking on by too. Honestly, for the price and aesthetic, I would say it was worth it. I slept pretty comfy. I had no issues. There are 2 showers, and I didn't have to compete with anybody or wait too long while I was waiting for the shower. So maybe it's because I went during off season, but these are the showers. There's one, well, actually there's 2 bathrooms, and then well, actually, no, I think there was more. I believe there might have been additional showers and bathrooms on the other side of the train as well, but this is a really pretty bathroom, all right? Water was hot. This is the storage area I was telling you for luggage, store at your own risk, and also, unfortunately, there are no locks on those bunk room doors, but you are able to ask reception to lock your room if you want to, for your own comfort. However, since it is a shared room, you gotta be mindful you don't have as much control over it. There's a little shelf over here. This is me dangling my feet. This is how steep it is, all right, from the top, and this is me going up the little ladder. It is detachable, so be really, really careful. Make sure it's secure before you go on there. But honestly, this is a super cool experience. This is the netting I was telling you about, and I felt way more comfortable taking a 3rd bunk, which was my first time doing, by the way, once I had this net up. Just sleeping, you know, just that extra security blanket, that extra protection made me feel a lot safer, okay? Because it is a pretty steep fall. It wasn't the most social hostel at the time, but again, I was traveling during off season and there were plenty of cute areas to sit, common areas. I felt very comfortable in the room as well. There are not outlets near the bed, so I was on the 3rd bunk and I had to use my battery pack to charge my phone, or I just had to plug it down below and leave it at the mercy of my roommates, but I had no issues with that. There are main lights and night lights like most hostels, so I had my own little personal light by my bed. And also, again, this was the ladder, so please make sure it's secure because it was extremely wobbly. But I genuinely enjoyed this experience, okay? I would say be mindful of the weather inside of the train because sometimes the door does stay open a little bit, but again, my cabin was super comfy. There were blinds for your comfort as well, so you could pull them down. The views were stunning. It was really nice to be inside of a train and then look outside and then see active trains passing by too, because technically it is like right by the tracks. There are plenty of refreshments, so I think this was a perfect time to do this. Honestly, it was very cozy. The weather was cold at the time I had visited. It was storming, so it was really nice to just sit inside. Very inspirational. Lots of artwork, some candles lit, a nice little vibe. I just really wanted to stay there because it just seemed like an interesting place, and I just want to start checking out some more interesting accommodations. I had a great time. The thing I liked the most was the aesthetic, of course, being inside of a train. The thing I wasn't really crazy about was the weather temperament, not being able to like really lock my door, but that kind of honestly just comes with the territory of staying in a hostel, and then also not really having a secure place to put my luggage. So I just put it outside, my non-valuables, and trusted that it'd be okay, and a lot of people were doing the same, and that's about it. Oh, and the space, it was a bit tiny, but honestly for the experience and for the price, there was no kitchen or fridge, but the worker was really nice and allowed people to store some of their items in the fridge, and overall it was a really great experience, so I recommend it. Thank you for watching. Bye.